Yeah. What is up? Get some people. I expect my numbers to be kind of low this week when it comes to YouTube because people are at home. People are enjoying their holiday. It's Thanksgiving week. So hopefully you have a plan. So oops. Let's get rid of these glasses. All right. Let's minimize this one. All right. It's weird doing the StreamYard and not seeing myself. I got to see myself. I'm narcissistic. Anyways, hope everybody's had a good weekend. I hope you stayed safe and warm, and you have a plan for the week. Hopefully, that plan is to chill out and hang out with your family, and or make some crazy money because someone needed that one thing, and you have that connection that to that broker that's got that. I need this move now. What price are you willing to pay? Kind of a deal. Those can still happen. It's out there. You just got to look for it. So, anyways, no notification. Some notifications have gone out. I noticed that too. My phone, both my phones have notified. So, but StreamYard is weird. Sometimes, before I hit the go live button, I'll get everything set up, and I'll get distracted or something happen that I can't. And like people are already stepping in, like shouldn't have notified yet. Anyways, so yeah, StreamYard is kind of weird about that. There we go. I've been getting this thing on YouTube Studio. Help us promote fairness and ensure YouTube works for everyone by voluntarily providing demographic information about yourself. We'll keep your responses confidential and secure. Yeah, right. I see you. I see you guys. All right. So, we could show some low board stuff, but I kind of wanted to talk about a few things. And it came up in Fate Trucking. There was a lot of good lives this past weekend. By the way, if you wanted to see Saturday night's live feed that I did, you got the notification on this channel, and you missed the replay because I made it private. The video is still available on the other channel. So I'm going to raise the hand. So that thing that just said Snorelord OG, subscribe to that because I think a lot of my replays on my weekend lives are going to go to that channel. So what I did is I simulcast to both channels because I'd like to get some traction on that channel. But anyways, yeah, Fate Trucking's in here. I was talking about you. So Cassius King went live, and I guess Nevada is in all these feeds. He's been, a lot of people are telling him about, what needs to happen, where his mindset's at, and everything else. And DIY came up with something very profound. And I mean, it's something that I've known. It's something that I tell my guys when I see them in these toxic channels. And that's where the title Consumed By comes from. Is that what are you absorbing? Just like food diet, right? If you eat a bunch of junk food, a bunch of crap, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be feeling horrible. Your arthritis is going to, diabetes, cancer, all those kind of things if you eat wrong. Well, what a lot of people don't talk about is the mental diet. What's your mental diet? What do you absorb? If those you guys that listen to YouTube going down the road, what are you absorbing all day? What podcasts are you listening to? And is it helpful or harmful? Now you might say, well, it's entertaining, so that's helpful, right? There's a there's a there are two ways to entertain. One way is to, you know, watch something that's funny, so it's a distraction. And then another way is you get absorbed in this stuff, so you forget your real problems. Like it's easier to worry about what's going on with the economy, or with the government, or with voting, or with the presidents, and it's easier to worry about that. But then we're not focused on our own lives. I had a family member that was at a counselor, and that counselor literally was talking about stuff going on in China and overseas. Like, you're supposed to help alleviate the anxiety, not add to it, right? And I was just amazed that this person would even bring this into the conversation. Now, is it good to be aware of things that are going on in the world? Yes, to a certain degree. But if it creates fear and you can't, like, your body doesn't know, if it's adding cortisol and it makes you make bad decisions, then no, you don't need to be aware of what's going on in the world. Obviously. And that's why mental fitness is important. This is the holiday season. Black Friday is coming up this week. And what happens on Black Friday? People literally will kill each other over $200 off a stupid TV, or they'll camp out for 3 days to get that newest, latest, greatest gaming system, or that newest, latest, greatest stupid phone that's controlling you. What are you absorbing, right? And so why are the holidays so stressful? It's the holiday season, right? You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be, you know, why is Christmas a stressful thing to you? You absorb the energy, right? Just go out driving. And this week, you guys got to be careful. This is always the worst week for me to drive, because you have a lot of families that don't drive the interstate a whole lot. They're on the interstate. They don't know the etiquette. They don't know the rules. They don't know they don't drive around trucks all the time at 75, 80 miles an hour. So they're going to do stupid stuff. And that's it's always like that during Thanksgiving and Christmas. You have a lot of families traveling that normally don't run the interstate. So their interstate skills are fairly low. So what are you absorbing? And then when I see people absorbing all this negative energy, and then their business is failing, or they have a bad outlook in life and that's why their business is failing, that's it's not surprising, because regardless of whatever storm that we're facing, it's going to be your mindset that gets you through it. It's going to be your mindset that helps you regroup if you got to drop back. And I'm going to give a since everybody's on this football kick, football. I'm going to give an analogy, right? So you have 4 downs to get what you need done to get to the next 10 yards. Now, I watched the Chiefs game last night. Very good game. Chiefs won, by the way. And there was one drive where it was just like they ran almost everything, almost every down, right? Almost every down they ran, and just kept pushing onward, pushing onward, pushing onward, to the point that, they do quarterback sneaks, and I mean, just pushing onward, right? Now, what's more fun to watch when they do the big, huge, 50-yard, 80-yard, pass play touchdown? That's exciting, right? I think yesterday there was a game I watched where there was actually um, a punt return that actually someone actually scored with, which was the first one of the year in the NFL. And those are exciting to watch, but it's not the normal every down type of play. And that's how running a business is like. Sometimes, when you're looking for loads in the spot market, yes, you can get that big huge 90-yard, toss that, everybody's cheering and it's the winning, touchdown or whatever. Yes, that happens. I had that happen to me Friday for a load somebody's picking up today. But for the most of the time, I'm just looking for those downs. I'm looking for that first down. I'm looking for that 10 yards because that's consistency is what helps you succeed. But in order to have that determination, in order to have that drive, you have to be clear minded. Well, if you're not clear minded, if you're full of anxiety, you got to figure out where that's coming from. If I feel anxious about something, I have to sit, I have the ability to sit down and I'm like, okay, why am I feeling anxious about this? Where is this coming from? And usually it happens at 3 or 4 in the morning when I wake up. I'm not quite ready to get out of bed. I know if I get up now at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be tired later. So I'd like to get that extra hour of sleep, hour and a half sleep. But then my mind's like, what about this? What about that? What about this? I'm thinking of stuff that happened 10 years ago. Where does that come from? What's the root of that? And so when I can focus on the root of that, then we have some progress. If I'm sitting watching football and my wife's, up around working, cleaning the house and stuff, I feel like a loser. And she's not doing that intent. She's not like giving me any kind of guilt trip. That's just my mind being anxious, and I can't enjoy the game. So what did I do yesterday? I got up, did a few chores around the house, went and ran an errand, went to the evil Walmart that I know she hates going to, and dealt with a few things. And then when I finally sat down, then I could enjoy, the game. That was the Cowboys game. I didn't miss much. I guess the Cowboys made the Vikings look like a high school team, but anyways, where is your anxiety and your depression coming from? What is the root of that? Sometimes we're avoiding truth. Sometimes we know we're going out of business and we're just delaying the inevitable because we don't have a backup plan just in case things don't work out. There's some prominent YouTubers that have decided to back down, which is fine. That's fine if you can pivot and collect yourself, because sometimes you got to punt the ball, and put your defense up and hope that you get another chance. And so and I'm sorry, it's not like I'm a football fanatic, but I was just kind of thinking of all these analogies this morning while I was taking my shower. That's what running the trucking business is like. I was going to say spot market, but it goes beyond that. And it's only through trial and error that I've learned a few things. It's only through everybody else's trial and errors that I've learned a few things. There's a sweet spot that you can find, but it's only for you. I can sit here and brag about my huge load I got today, but will it do you any good? No. It's either designed to feed my ego or to sit there and make you feel bad that you're not getting that, or to normalize my big home run, big touchdown pass is like, oh yeah, I do this every day, and I don't. I've learned so much dispatching 5 to 7 trucks. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about drivers. And granted, I've had this experience. I've been in this game for 14 years. And I've been an owner op since, well, I guess 8 years, 2014. Now, could I have been more successful and have more money in the bank? Yeah. And what caused me to not have more money in the bank? Well, I don't run that hard. I'm not the guy that's going to go out and do the 3,000 miles a week. But you know what? I adjusted my lifestyle to reflect that. And I'll get to the comments here, guys. Success is subjective, absolutely. But you know what? There's a lot of things I have going on at home, and I've been blessed with this home time because I've been able to focus on other aspects of my life that I needed to focus on. Because what good's all that money you're making if your relationships struggle? What good's having that shiny, chromed out, look like you just stepped out of the Chrome Mafia truck? What good is that truck if your health is crap? What good is that truck if your CDL goes away? What good is that truck if you get divorced? Because you're gone all the time. Is that truck worth it? No. To me, it's not. Now you could sit there and say, "Oh, I'll drive this truck to Valhalla and I will die on this hill." And that's fine. But will it bring you happiness? Because the only people getting rich in trucking are the carrier, the mechanics, the oil companies. And even then, it's a struggle for the carrier. You, as the driver, are you paying for a job, or are you a truly independent business person that's doing well? This is, and I'm sorry to to kind of shout all these realities on a Monday morning, but what are you consuming? There is a ton of great information out there that everybody is ignoring. I have a stack of books that I've been trying to get through it here. That's one of the things I've tried to do when I'm at home is read books instead of listening to them. A person gave me a gift a couple of years ago, an audio um, subscription, and it was great. I downloaded a bunch of books. They're still in my queue. Some were, a couple were distractions, but most of them have been to learn, to motivate, to discipline. Motivation is nothing if you don't have discipline. If you don't have a way to quiet the negative voices in your mind. Right? Sean, I am deep. Because I see the dopamine attention deficit addictions affecting friends, affecting family, affecting business, affecting our health. For what? To become slaves to the machine? So yeah, I've been thinking there has to be a change. All right, let me get some comments. You guys are commenting pretty good. All right. Old school, new school here. What's up, Sean? How's it going? Don Shonger. Nothing witty is in the house. Almond. Almond Chimera. 80. Good morning. Matt K. Good morning from Denver. I hope everything goes smoothly today, Matt. Cowardly Lion. That name cracks me up. What's up? A. Haggy. Black Week. Black Week. Dang, once again, no notification, says Don. Jose, what's up? With both feet. Yo, miscreants, what's up? Fate Trucking. Already said hi. There's subscribe to that channel, please. Cascade Trucking. What's up? Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up on all the lives I missed over the weekend. Just watched Cash's live from Saturday and it was gold. Yeah, I need to finish that. CDN, what's up? Good morning, Steve. Perfect timing. Just started my 2.5-hour drive going the train today. Please entertain as I drive. DP, positive or negative? Other trucker James Best, what's up? It's like that advice. You're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think the same has to be true of the media we consume. Absolutely nothing witty. Abso-freaking-lutely. I should add educate me and sprinkle in some humor and entertainment. I'm not an educator. I'm really not. All I know is that I can look at a low board and figure out a few things and I'm observant about my surroundings. Do I like the truckers coach? I've actually met Jason and his wife at the truck show. Nice people. You know, truckers coach has a job to promote companies and get everybody talking about them, and he does that well. Now, how he runs his trucking business, that's a different story. That's not for me to judge. And as you know, and what he does demonstrate is that YouTube can get pretty messy, and unfortunately, it affects him negatively. And it goes exactly what I was talking about earlier. Is you are what you consume, and if you're consumed by what every second of that dude's doing, then you're concentrating on the wrong things. You know, I wish Coach and Daphne well. I hope they figure it out, and I hope that things improve for them. I have no ill will against anybody. So, training someone to be a broker agent is more difficult than most realize. I will imagine. Rennie, good morning, Will Burner. What's up? Hope all is well today. So far, we got our coffee. I've got light. I've got heat. I got an awesome wife here at home. My kids are I say kids. One's 21. The other one's about to turn 18. They're all nestled in their beds, all comfortable. I have a cat with a gaping open wound that won't shut up, but he's getting better. And then I did not go deer hunting. That's the only bummer. The guy that I was supposed to go with, he was able to harvest 2. That's okay. I still got a pretty full freezer. We have snow arrived, Scandinavia, Europe. Good morning, America. Safety trucking everyone out there. Samuel. Cascade 3.4 times 3 equals 10. New Downs. Ever try meditation? Yes. I'm not the best at it. It's still a work in progress, which it should be. It should always be a work in progress, but it's definitely grounded me. You know, mantras work too. Negative inputs, right? Pride and ego can kill a business faster than bad financial planning. Absolutely, Will Burner. Pride comes before the fall. Rennie says success is subjective. That is absolutely true. There are people that will say that I'm not successful. There are people in this chat that say that I'm not good at what I do. But they don't know me. They don't know what I've gone through. They don't know what experiences I've had, right? And my ego does not need anybody's approval. You either like me or you don't. And I try to give you the news in a nice way that's not so threatening. And a lot of times I'm honest, but I'll be nice about it. You know, one person says, if you continue down this path, you will go out of business. And my wording is more like, well, you know, you definitely have some challenges ahead of you. And try to give you a little bit of hope. That's the difference. And if giving people hope is a bad thing, then you're probably listening to the wrong people. You are part of the problem, not part of the solution. That's what I try to be. I try to be a part of the solution. You're deep, dude. Driving a Tesla without your partner in the passenger seat seems like a miserable existence. I agree with that. Jackknife, what's up? Good morning. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you have anxiety, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Wow, that's spot. Text me that so I remember that. I'm going to put a screenshot of that and put it up on my community page, LVC. Thank you. That's dead on right there. Spot on. Let me read it again for those of you in the back. If you're depressed, you are living in the past. If you have anxiety, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. And that's what I try to do. Whatever the government in China and Russia and Ukraine and all that business, you know, big meteor coming towards you, polls are, that stuff doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If a mushroom cloud popped up right now outside, I'd go in the room and hug my wife and bring the kids out. We'd all hug and we'd be gone. It didn't matter. Doesn't matter. Live for today. Whoa, dude, that's heavy. I was just here for the weather and sports scores. Ah, yes. Cool trucking. What's up? I love how you value your wife. Absolutely. Without her, I'm kind of nothing, to be honest with you. We've been married 22 years. We've been together for 24. Mr. Charles, good morning. Sean, you're still one of my favorites. Just got to figure a way to get you away from brokers. My wedge driving's not working. The perfect balance for me is going to be brokers with direct freight and some contract stuff that fills in. That seems to be the sweet spot that's working for most people. Don't believe me? Ask DIY, ask Fate, ask Cassius Trucking. Those guys are doing really successful. Not to say that they don't have their hardships. Those guys are doing well. You missed something juicy? Well, shop better at the produce market then. Todd, what's up? Coach and his wife are nice people. He got a business to do like we all do, right? How are you liking deer meat? So here's what I did, James. The dough became the tenderloins and hamburger, and then the buck became hamburger, snack sticks, sausage, and jerky. The males tend to be tougher meat, so that's the best thing for those. And the processor, they'll mix beef or pork with the hamburger. So when my wife cooks the hamburger, you can't even tell. Like, you can't even tell the difference. I can, anyways. Now the tenderloins cook a little different than your standard steak, but they're still good. Um, there's no quote unquote gamey taste. I think a lot of the gamey taste is because we're so used to corn grain fed cattle that when we get something different, if you want a truly grass raised animal, it's the deer. So, but the hamburger, you can I think I got it mixed with beef. I think is what I did. So OTJB for OI to president. That's funny. I like the steaks, but everything else needs to be in a meat stick. When I meditate, my teachers called me a daydreamer. Adco and Matt got to hang out. Sure, there was plenty of bad words talked about me. He blew a good opportunity to save up his free month of deferred truck payments. He should have been saving bank and not worrying about turkey, just my opinion. But who cares? I mean, we all pass up good opportunities, right? We've all passed up good opportunities. And we have no idea what's going on at home, right? So I really don't care. It's not even worth my thought. There are whole YouTube channels devoted to just tearing that guy down, and that's to me that's part of what I was talking about earlier about consuming the wrong things. Donnie Luke, I love deer meat. Sage, what's up? Let's see. And you could just do it that way. It's primarily what I did with the buck. Dennis, what's up? LVC, thank you for helping the algorithms. The most challenging thing about being a one-man show carrier is honestly managing family with work. Yeah, I could be hugely successful. Is it worth it if my wife, kids resent me? Dead on. Absolutely. That's what I've always done. It's always been about. Look, Ike Stevens, when he was at Schneider, he was a Schneider IC. He once said, "It's about money and home time. It's about balance." And when he lost that balance is when he switched companies, and that's what we all kind of do, And when you're the one man carrier, you're the carrier, you're the dispatcher, you're the auditor, you're everything, right? You're the safety guy. When do you sleep? Even Jeffrey Like will he'll call me and say, "Hey, I need you to cover access today and carrier packets because, I need some time." Because that dude does not sleep. He's constantly got two phones glued to his face, and he's got, I mean, even when we were hanging out at Matt's, he was doing Raycon Saturday night at like 9 p.m. while we were sitting there hanging out with the Thunder Funding Group. But even he has his limits, right? And so you finding that balance is more important than any money in the bank. I mean, yeah, you need money in the bank, don't get me wrong. But is it worth your health? Is it worth your relationships? I could go out and buy a brand new whatever I want right now, but then I'd be a slave to that truck. And so, do you drive the truck or does the truck drive you? Do you drive your business or does the business drive you? And if you're money driven, okay, then paying $200,000 for a truck that looks good and hoping that your paycheck is going to be great, that's not the way to do it. If your costs are high, your costs are high. You are a slave to those costs. This truck behind me is paid off. The trailer is almost paid off. And even then, my payments are pretty modest. I have a 2002, a 2013, and a 2007 vehicle. Vehicles outside. I don't own a boat. I do own 2 utility trailers, but they were bought. Well, I mean, one was recent, but that's it. I own 2 homes, but those 2 home payments added together are less than what most of you are paying for one. And one of them's bringing me income. This YouTube is bringing me income. Dispatching trucks brings me income. Running my truck brings me income. I'm working on something else that's outside of trucking, and I'm constantly looking to see what opportunities are laid before me. Enter the cat. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. And if I'm driving the fanciest, newest, latest, greatest truck, but my wife hates me, what good is that? And that's one of the reasons why I don't think I could go back to being a company, because, you know, now I'm not in control anymore. I have no choice but to be a slave to the truck, if that's what the company so desires. Because working for some of these small companies, you might be a slave to their truck payment. I have a friend that was doing that. And the smart companies figure out, hey, if we make this guy make the truck payments, let him be the slave to the truck. That'll be awesome. And I believe they call that lease purchase. So what are you a slave to? Are you a slave to your thoughts? Are you a slave to your anxiety? Are you a slave to your truck, your business, your house? What are you a slave to? Can you find balance with what you're doing now? There's a lot of people doing things right now that you cannot find balance, and it's going to slowly erode you away. Pennsylvania deer season starts Saturday, and we make pork venison sticks out of the whole thing. Nice. It was short but good. Seems like the gamey taste comes from deer feeding on acorns. Probably. Just came up in my feed. The world breaks everyone, and afterwards, some are strong at the broken places. That's true. Nobody can say a negative word about the Snorelord. No. Look, I'm not perfect. I have my issues. I've been attacked by the YouTubers. Unprovoked, but I've been attacked. And it sucks because, I try to help people when I can. And that's how you're repaid. My dispatcher's bipolar, thinks Frito-Lay is the only thing to pull. Yeah, I know a lot of guys at the Big Orange that rely on those, especially in the Pacific Northwest. And when Frito-Lay kind of calms down for a minute, man, those guys are scrambling. I just don't understand why everybody feels the need to be in everybody else's business. We all make decisions that someone or another would say is the wrong way. Worry about you and yours. Well, Gary, I think where that comes from, and those are good words, Gary. I think where that comes from is we put our lives out here, right? We sit there and brag about our company, or we brag about our numbers, and we brag about how awesome it is being an owner operator. And then when people tear it apart, then suddenly it's a problem. And so as a fellow YouTube narcissist, you know, getting on social media and explaining things in your life, you're almost asking for it to be picked apart. And that's why I don't think I'll ever change my YouTube name, is because I'm just a hairy, bearded metalhead that trucks on occasion and talks about it. I'm not an educator. I'm not, you know, I'm not claiming any title other than just some dude with a camera and a microphone and a truck and some experience. If you learn from me, cool. If not, then whatever. But yet you have people that will literally attack families and get people fired and tear them apart over what? An ego battle? And the live and let live is been my motto for a long time. Because I hate it when people mess with me. There's been some nasty things said about me. Does it affect me? No. In fact, I feel sorry for the people that have attacked me. I feel sad because that comes from a place of pain. And so if people would just worry about themselves, and that's kind of the whole intent. If you just consume the right things and worry about yourself, then maybe some accomplishments could happen. All right. You guys want to, I don't know if this will show up or not. He's got a big gash right there. See? I don't know if you guys can see that. He is unhappy with this situation. I'm going to pet him here like a villain. Have him on my lap and just pet him. You can't see him. I got to remove the comment here. Here's my cat. There we go. See, he does not look happy. Look, you're on the green screen in front of a truck. All right, go. Away you go. I don't think you can train for your profession, CDN, since a lot of sales and marketing and to be in sales, all that leads to the closing. The most important closing can't be scripted. That is true. Cog in the machine. I'm with Chucky. Warranty and SFI are it. And it's working for Charles. It is working for him. YouTube is your social life. How's that working out for you, Cool Trucking? And I get it. Look, we're in the cab by ourselves. You know, the phone and the YouTube circle is can be a great thing. You know, the whole Zello thing. Zello's been fun at times, but it's also been toxic. Well, what makes Zello what makes Zello toxic in one hand and positive in another? It's people. Hell, there was even some drama in Pale Riders channel between me and the trucker's table one time. Because people just get at each other, you know? So if it's your social life, who are you hanging out with? That's it, Cool Trucking. Who are you hanging out with? And it makes us all feel good to, you know, sit there and talk about how everything's wrong, how wrong the trucking industry is, how messed up the regulations are, how bad the fuel is, and it makes us feel better by voicing our opinions, by venting, by ranting. I get that. But does it lead to any solutions? Do these echo chambers really change your life? Are they changing the minds of other people? Are they adding value to your day? I know people have called me and said, "Steve, I had to shut you off today because you were being negative or because you were talking about things that freak me out." And that's what I kind of like, you know what, maybe I need to calm that down a little bit because I don't want to be the negative energy in someone's day. But I still have to keep some realism to it. There are people struggling right now because they overextended themselves last year. There are people that are struggling because they didn't make the right decisions 1, 2, 3 years ago. And that's what a down market does. I've seen it over and over and over. James Best, Spectre, Jeff, we've all been here. We've all done this before. But what makes it different? The fuel. The fuel's making it different this time. So how do we approach that? And we can sit there and tell people that they're driving the wrong rig, or they're driving the wrong way, or they're driving the wrong lanes all day long. And if they don't listen, they don't listen. You just have to move on and just help the people that want to be helped. If you can consider helping. And sometimes ego makes us, well, if you do it this way, then that's completely asinine, and you're gonna, that's I'm not even gonna deal with you. That doesn't help either. All that does is create resentment. Dale Carnegie, man, read his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Right, CDN? Isn't that a great sales approach? Right? I enjoy being in the truck versus mowing the lawn. I don't have a brick and mortar house. I also have multiple income streams, but this industry is my blood and soul. Good deal, James Clark. And you're probably doing pretty well because of that. There's a lot of people that hate trucking that aren't doing well because they hate trucking. Because it's hard for you to see what's beyond the veil there. I'm a slave to one woman and 2 cats. That's it. That's all, and I'm good with it. There you go. Most slave to lender, right? Name your cat Sandman, and then you can say, enter Sandman. Cat spend time in the litter box. That's funny. Now I'm singing it. Good morning, Nevada. I thought there was a kitten around this yard. I'm cat wounds are difficult. They heal differently. Yes, they do. TC Bog says, meow. Yeah, it will consume you if you let it. It seems there isn't anything else I want to do. Is it addiction? Who knows? It makes me feel better. I hang out in the true crime community on YouTube. It's not for the faint of heart. People are so mean to each other. That is true. There's this local Ozarks-based true crime podcast that I listen to on occasion. And it's been pretty interesting because I know a lot of the stories personally, like the 3 missing women from Springfield. I was associated with those people indirectly. And then Feeney murders, they just uploaded a podcast about that. That was a teacher at my high school. And that was a crazy story. So SFI is good, but it's definitely tight right now with fuel prices. We are paying the bills, but not sure how long I can keep it up. If things don't change soon, I might be turning this one in. Is there any chance of refinancing that truck, Chucky? We need to get the climate freaks out of the White House, the lobbyists, or whatever. The pipelines need to be open so fuel can go back down in $3. That is never going to happen, Allman. I'll tell you why. I opened a box of Zest, right? Soap. And on the soap, it says, we use less plastic for our packaging. We use less cardboard for our packaging. We transport these efficiently. Like they're using the whole electric truck as a way to advertise to you that you're the evil consumer if you consume anything else that requires regular transportation. So it's about sales, it's about money, it's about investors. Money rules this world. And so, yeah, that's never going to happen. I have the benefit of keeping my paid off truck, so we will keep going. CN agrees with me. I don't hate trucking, I dislike freight. And look, I've got a friend of mine that also, he will not work freight unless he absolutely has to on a backhaul, on a show load. But and I heard that's what happens to you touring guys is you're like, you know what, bump a dock at P&G ain't my thing anymore, right? And Will Burner says it right here. There's not one formula that is absolute in this business. That is so true. And that's the problem with YouTube. When you're watching a YouTube channel, that's one person's perspective. My perspective probably doesn't work for a lot of people, just like Coach's perspective doesn't work for a lot of people. And James Best's perspective doesn't work for a lot of people. Wheelburner's approach doesn't work for a lot of people. And we forget that watching the tubes. I'll pick on Bill here, Cool Trucking. What works for him may not work for one of the other contractors, and vice versa. What works for me may not work for you. What works for me may not work for Charles. I can go on and sound redundant, but that's the truth. I'm a full-time RVer, so there is overlap. Good deal. My approach is to be so busy running anything profitable that I don't notice the down market. There you go. That's a good approach. Will burn more truth than most will admit. Not in this climate, and the amount left is high, so not finding luck on any banks willing to put that much money up. Yeah, I know somebody else that's struggling with that as well. Well, but you know what though? Here's why Mr. Charles is going to make it, because he has the right mindset. He's got discipline. He's got a good support system at home. And that's the most important thing. So if he can keep his sanity and nourish things, find the balance and have that right mindset, he'll be fine. When I think of people that I worry about not making it, Charles is not one of them, because I know he will find a way. James, what's up? James G. So, anyways, let's look at load ratios and all that kind of crap. All right. This is okay. So, enter life if you've got a piece of paper. Write down 5427. This is the part where we're going to talk about Thanksgiving strategies. Okay, enough of this dumb motivational crap. Okay, not that it's motivational, but I was inspired this morning. But anyways, Thanksgiving. There's a couple of things you newbies to the spot market. Let's go over a couple of things. This is the Thanksgiving strategy. If you want to work over Thanksgiving, you need to have that load picked up by Wednesday morning in a good area. There will be last minute cancellations, either by the truck or the freight. So be prepared by being in an area where you can easily find your way out of a last minute load. Don't be so far from the house that you're going to deadhead 1,000 miles to get home if things fall apart, if your plan falls apart. Now, once your load is booked, call the customer to make sure that they will be open later on Wednesday. So if you have a Wednesday at 8 p.m. pickup, make sure that's legit. Also, when it comes to delivering and picking up on Friday, that can get screwed up as well, because there's a lot of companies that will take Thursday and Friday off. So you have to keep that in mind. Do not believe the broker on every customer hours. Call them to find out. Make sure that they're going to be open when you get there. I once had to pick up a load. This is when I was company. I was in upstate New York. I picked up a load that the guy literally was waiting to go home for me to show up. Like, he was like, if you're not here within an hour, I'm going home and you will sit all week for the rest of the week, because we're not open on Friday. And through pleading from my company, luckily it wasn't a brokered load, they stuck around and they loaded me. Now, I got loaded pretty quickly. That was the good part. And then I had basically 4 days to do 2 days worth of driving. So that's the other thing. Is you're going to lose a day of revenue depending on what load you're getting. So if you're doing a shorty, you're going to be sitting on that load all day. So you have to have a strategy in place when it comes to Thanksgiving. I have 3 trucks that are going to need a load on Wednesday. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Have something that picks up Wednesday, delivers Friday. And the Friday can be iffy. So I'm going to be paying attention to the customers, and I'm going to be paying attention to what the broker tells me. And it'll probably be with a broker that I trust versus some Joe Schmo on off the DAT board or 123 low board. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email's in the description. But there is the potential for things to go wrong. I got a broker text me right now, ask me what do I need. Wheelburner says the good business owner observes what he thinks everybody else is doing right and tries to incorporate those bits into his own business. There you go, Wheelburner. That's why I like you, man. You're a cool dude. That and the Iron Maiden. Trucking with T-Bone, what's up? With both feet, I did end up chained up on that trip to Northeast. Ford and Volkswagen collab, autonomous company Argo shut down, lost $2.7 billion with no progress. Autonomous is a pipe dream. I agree with that. I'll just do trucking for fun, not money. There you go. I just do trucking for fun, not money. It's not crap either. I like Jose's outlook. That's the sure reward. Doing what you love every day and it pays well. And I love doing what I'm doing. I love dispatching. You know. Sort of straight up dumb motivational crap. That's pretty good. That'll be that title will get your attention at the very liberal Barnes and Noble, right? Let's see. As soon as I got chained up, I went to the next exit sign. CB said pass closed, so I spent the night unchained and went over Snoqualmie in the morning. Yeah, there's a lot of bad weather going on. All right, so let's share the screen here. All right, there's your density map. That's all the trailers. Let's look at flatbed since I know Sandman's in here. It's like flatbed slowing down a little bit. You think? You have a plan? You didn't sell that van yet, did you? So anyways, that's the Florida's yellowed up. Tennessee and North Carolina have yellowed up. And there's your let's look at Oregon. Let's see what's coming in and out of Oregon, shall we? Monroe. A lot of stuff going to Cali, North Dakota. Here's a good load going back to Michigan. Freight logistics, Klamath Falls, Oregon, going to Clinton Township, Michigan. Look at that! Look at that posted rate, guys. Is this a partial? Yeah, it's a partial. LTL. So partials are easier to manage on a flatbed. Here we go. Medford to Phoenix. D&L, I've worked with them before. Oh, they're above the average. There's tarps, 47,000 pounds. It's lumber. And again, it's down in Arizona. So what are you going to get out of Arizona? So let's look at our reloads. There's only 2 loads coming out of Phoenix going anywhere. and looks like it's the same load posted twice. $800 to go to El Paso from White River, Arizona. So that probably wouldn't be a good one unless you live in Phoenix. Let's see. Let's compare Arizona to Bozeman, Montana. That's going through all the mountains there. Oh, hey, I got a mountain story for you guys. There's actually more loads coming out of Bozeman, Montana than Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see if they're multi postings. Butte to Billings, Laurel to Idaho Falls, Montana, Wyoming, California. Here we go. Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. Meow. Drilling mud. That sounds fun. Average is 210 a mile. Not the best, obviously. And it's a steady downward decline. So I booked a load from Phoenix to Denver because that's usually your best money, for van. There's a load of chips. The driver calls me up. He goes, "Hey man, the shipper just told me that I have to worry about elevation. What do you know about that?" So I get on the phone with Jeff because I don't know much about that. Right? I figured Jeff has a little bit more experience with that. I couldn't get a hold of the guy that I knew that he did know. Right? I don't know how to talk. So I called the broker and said, "Is there a routing that we need to worry about?" And she's like, "We do 100 of these a month. We haven't had any claims." And so the driver who was experienced with the mountain said, "You know what? I think we just won't go over this one way. It was north up to 70 and heading east on 70." So we decided on 25, basically 17 to 25, 25 to, or no, 17 to 40, 40 to 25. That's how we went. And he gets the load delivered, and where he had picked up, they gave him a bunch of free chips. Right? So he had chips in the cab, and anyways, so he picks up a load right there out of Denver. I booked him a load from Denver to San Francisco. Got a really good rate for that one too, because I have connections. And he calls me. He goes, "Hey man, so we didn't have any problems with the chips going up, but man, once I went over on 70 West, he said the chips exploded in his truck, scared the crap out of him." He goes, "Now we know which we chose right, on the decision." So I thought that was interesting, and I just sitting there, I just picture myself just driving along, all of a sudden, boom, his bag of chips pop, and I said, "Well, are there chips all over your cabinet?" He goes, "No, I had them in a box, but it was pretty interesting, it was pretty interesting observation." So office work brings its own breed of stress too, though. Yeah, especially with what I'm doing, Buck. There's no structure, right? So I had to create structure, or else I know I'd be my own worst enemy. I know I'd fall into the whole I'm going to sit in my pajama pants and not be motivated for anything. I would easily fall into that. So what I do is I treat it like a real job, which it kind of is a real job. I get up at 5:30, hang out with the wife until 6:30. 6:30, I get ready and I get dressed. I get drinking the coffee, and then I get the live feed ready if I'm going to go live, or if I'm going to cut up a video, that's what I'll do. And then 8 o'clock, I try to shut everything down on the live feeds, unless the work is light, and then I'm on the low boards, talking to the drivers, touching base with them, everything else. So, and then at 5 o'clock, when I know everybody's good to go and brokers stop answering the phones, then I'm done. Then I write down what I need to do for the next day. And because I'm not just dispatching, every load that I dispatch for like trucking, I got to put into our Axis TMS software. And then I'm creating a strategy and looking towards the next load. So I had a driver call me this morning and said, "Don't book me until Wednesday, please. I'm tired." So, but you have to create structure. And my phone's always on. By being the safety manager, I have to have my phone on. So I can't just put the business phone down and be done with it, right? So because I want to be able to answer the phone if someone calls me at 3 a.m, like Cascade, and doesn't know what to do with a lumber check. So I want to be that guy. I have to be that guy. That's my job. Jeff pays me to do that. So, no, you want to buy it? Cascade, you might want to keep it. If you have to do it for the money, or you'll end up in the sick ward. After 35 years in the spot market, I'm almost there. You have to do it. If you have to, okay. I'm having trouble reading that. Crush it. I will probably do a bounce from Mississippi on Thanksgiving. There you go. Deadhead Blues. This Truckin' Life, good morning. Drilling Mud sounds like a movie. Watch. Steve, I'm going to send you a lead on a good paying loads coming out of the Gary, Indiana area. Okay, that would be great. Something like 7,000 elevation for chips. Yes. So, and I believe the Eisenhower's what, 10,000? So, pop, bang. Pigtail, what's up? Well, today I switch over to a dedicated roofer carrier. Yay. I thought you were doing the Tyson thing. Sent you some pictures. Looks like Costco will still unload me in the dock. Let's take a look. Damn. Judging by that picture, they fell out. Wow. I'm glad they'll still unload you, because I've heard Costco's like, that tipped over slightly. We ain't dealing with that. I did. You were lucky. It's funny. I told Cascade, I said, "Dude, if you got to call me at 1 a.m, call me at 1 a.m." He's like, "Nah, man, I can't do that to you." I said, "Dude, that's what I'm here for." And I was literally in the dock at Pepsi, because Pepsi was being dumb there in St. Louis, which it worked out well, because there's not a really good safe place to spend the night in St. Louis other than inside the guarded gates of Pepsi. And they were taking forever to unload me, right? And he called me. He calls me when I answer on the first ring. He's like, "Damn, you were right." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, man." He's like, "Do you ever sleep?" And I kind of told him the situation. It was funny. So, anyone needs some chains? I have 5 sets, double, triple, square link for 11R tires, newer, ran oil field guides, maybe. I would make up reasons to call it at 3 a.m. Now, you can call at 3 a.m. Doesn't mean I'll answer. No, look, my phone's on vibrate. I'll be honest. My phone's on vibrate, but, I'll hear the vibration usually. I've yet to wake up and see a missed call at 3 a.m. So, if I'm in the truck, the ringer's on. But if I'm at home, the ringer's off, simply so my wife doesn't get woken up with some bullshit. So, But all right, let's look at reefer. There's your reefer states. Look at Jersey light up here. Usually when I go to the Northeast, it's this area only, right through here, and right through here is all jacked up because of 6 feet of snow. Those lake machines, the snow machines by the lake are working overtime. So you still got some decent produce coming out of California and Texas. Texas is actually not a bad market. That pisses them off when I spray them. I'm at the LOL. I'm at the receiver. Guard was like, "Be earlier than your appointment." To another driver, I was 5 hours early, and there you have. And they're like, "You have an 11 a.m. appointment. Be here early. It doesn't matter. Gotta love it." I hate places like that. Yeah, Food Mooch doesn't call at 3 a.m. He knocks. That's one of the perils of YouTube. Is I explained where I was at, and next thing you know, I had a 4 in the morning, someone knocking on my door, and it was Food Mooch. He almost got hurt because I didn't know who he was, and he tried to open my door. I imagine you don't dispatch a lot of reefer loads after banker's hours is the norm. LOL. Yeah. Reefer markets, you got to be a couple of days ahead. You almost have to be a week ahead with them. There's they're either early morning or they're late afternoon, early evening on pickup. There's like nothing that picks up at like 2 p.m. But a lot of produce, like apples, they tend to be open window, which is nice. And then, so the hardest part about dispatching a reefer right now is learning the customers and learning the names or the lanes. I mean, the lanes are pretty easy. I've had a couple of friends of mine help me out with that, and it's worked well with us. But it's the customers, like, where are we going to collect attention and all that. Anything coming out of Dallas to Memphis today? On what platform? Van or reefer? While this tour life answers me. Oh, van. Okay, there. Sorry, Jason. I just now figured out. So let's look. So search. Find loads. Dallas to Memphis. Usually a decent lane. I know Ponzi, that's all he would do when he was at Landstar. Those of you who don't know who Ponzi is, shame on you. There we go. For today, right? So let's do 21st. Is that right? Van, truckload, any. There's you're screwed. There's only one load. That's interesting. 8+ hour posting. Smart Logistics. I don't have any experience with them. 3-month lane projects. Not even a real load. All loads are 20,000 pounds or less. U.S. mail. 24/7 receiver delivered direct. 53 dry vans only. Teams preferred 3 per day, 7 days a week. Pickup times are based on appointment. No calls, email only, please. With 4 exclamation points. Yeah, so it's not even a real load. I mean, it is. I'm seeing a lot of this. U.S. Mail's kind of like trying to get some of these guys struggling in the spot market. So they're calling the brokers to fill in these loads. 3-month lane project. So if you're a team, this might be something interesting if you can get them up on the money. So yeah, that's good luck, Jason. Truckers Anonymous, what's up? Max Force, good morning. Ponzi, not Fonzie. Smooth. Ponzi Zombie Killer is his YouTube name. He has a channel. All right, guys. I am done talking about stuff. Hold on. I was talking about broccoli or soft berries more. Those sheds when running are 24/7. Yep. Produce has its risk and reward. So does meat. So, it's the processed food that usually is in and out, warehouse to warehouse kind of stuff. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Strike for today, hope for tomorrow. Don't be a victim and don't be a victimizer. All right. So with that being said, whoops. That being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Peace.